Oh, all right, so welcome. We're gonna start standing tonight. And this is a special night because it is celebrating Physical Activity Challenge for the Port Coquitlam Ridge Meadows Ringette Association. I'm wearing my shirt. How's the game on ice? All right, Ringette's been one of those things I've played for, oh my gosh, 25 years. Big part of my life, and so this class is going to be yoga for Ringette tonight. If you are a runner or skater or cyclist, this is also going to be super great for you because we will focus on hip mobility tonight, nice core stretching and strengthening, and of course some blissful relaxation that we all need. Right, Chuck? Say hello. Great. All right, so find a comfortable place to stand. There is no right or wrong tonight. This is about feeling good in our bodies, and that's about it. So whatever feels good, do it. If something doesn't feel good for you, for whatever reason, injury or just something doesn't feel right, then please just come out of the shape and go into something a little bit more restful for you. It's a little bit harder to do modifications in this way because I can't really see you, but we can always talk after too. All right, so we're just gonna let our arms swing side to side, just to start. And start feeling your body. What does your body feel like right now? Noticing your feet on the ground, the air on your skin. And let's start to come to a little bit more stillness. Bring your feet together and bring your hands to your heart. And let's start to breathe into those hands in your heart. And exhale. Start to notice as you inhale and exhale how it feels to breathe. Something so simple that we often don't think about during the day. Let's give ourselves that gift right now to focus on our breath. And then bring your hands to your belly. And same thing, breathe into your hands on your belly. How does it feel to bring the air down into your low lungs? Feel your rib cage expanding, your low back expanding as you inhale. And Shai is saying great job to everybody. Right? Good. And now on your next inhale, let's bring our hands up overhead. Big inhale, reach up nice and tall. And exhale, bring your hands together and down through your center. We're going to do that 2 more times. Big inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Last one, big inhale. And this time we're just going to sigh it out our mouth. Here we go. Bring it down. Crossing your right foot over your left. Stick your left hip out. Inhale, arms up, grab your left hand and reach up and over, making a banana shape with your body. See if you can shine your heart up to the sky a little bit more as you lengthen through that whole left side of your body. Good. Inhale, lift up, uncross those legs, and go the other way, left over right, grabbing your right wrist this time, and pull over to the left, reaching your right hip out. And then see if you can rotate your heart up towards the sky. Feeling length through both sides of your torso. And then inhale, lift up, uncross those legs. Bring your hands together behind your back, interlacing your fingers, and open up through your chest. Good. You can stay here. Maybe your palms can touch. Maybe it's just your fingers. Maybe you need to hold on to something. Your shoulders are quite tight. And if it feels good, maybe adding a forward fold here and letting your arms hang over top. but we're still getting warmed up, so no rush into deeper shapes. If you're folded down, feel as though someone's pulling your wrist and lift you all the way up. Unbind your fingers, shake them out. And we're gonna walk our feet nice and wide now. So, yeah, quite wide. And toes are out on a 45. And see if we can bend into our knees a little bit. Hands on your knees. And all we're gonna do is push one shoulder forward as you're pushing your knee out. And then switch. So one shoulder forward, knee goes out. Starting to warm up our hips a little bit. And adding a gentle twist. Okay, check. Gonna do one more each side. And slowly bring yourself up. Heel toe your feet together. And I'm gonna come to the top of my mat, so if you have that, it's a great place to be. And we're gonna inhale, reach up. And exhale, hinge from your hips and fold all the way down. And we're just gonna hang out here for a little bit in a forward fold. So if your hamstrings are quite tight, you can bend your knees and just let your torso hang over your thighs. And as gravity pulls your head down, shake your head yes and no. And just let go of any tension you're holding in your neck or your shoulders. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Good, and we're going to plant our hands and see if we can start to walk our feet back into a downward facing dog. So this is a pyramid shape. So your hips are nice and high. And your fingers are spread wide. And maybe you have a cat in your face. And take a moment to bend one knee at a time, pushing your other heel down. And walk your dog out. So a little bit of stretch for your calves. And again, yoga is a feeling, not a shape. So don't worry what you look like right now, or at all during this class, just how it feels. Good. And let's see if we can find a little bit of stillness. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. See if you can reach your tailbone a little higher. And then maybe lengthening your legs. Take one more big breath. And sigh it out your mouth. Let that go. We're going to start to come down to our knees. Nice and slowly. Get yourself down into a tabletop. All right. So from here, one of my most favorite things to do, cat-cow. When you exhale, you round your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and your tail. Exhale, puff up your back like a Halloween cat. And inhale, move in the other direction. Moving with your breath. Starting to find some movement in your spine. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And on your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine, so you have a nice flat back. And we're going to start to walk our hands forward, but keep our hips where they are. And tense your fingers. And start to bring your armpits down to the ground. This is a puppy dog. Starting to get into our shoulders, our lats. Maybe your forehead touches the ground. see what you can relax here. What can you let go of? Take one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Walk your hands back. Now we're going to tuck our toes. And maybe even use your hands to untuck those little pinky toes that don't like to tuck on their own sometimes. And we're just going to sit back on our feet. Whew. And this might feel a little uncomfortable. Don't worry, your feet will be okay. We often forget about our feet, and they're what carry us through life, so let's give them a little bit of love right now. And stretch out the bottoms. While we're here, let's roll our shoulders back. And roll your shoulders forward a few times. And let's give our neck a little bit of love. We often forget about our neck as well. So bringing one ear to one shoulder. Then let your chin drop to your chest. And then bring your other ear to your other shoulder. And come back down through that way. Letting your head rock and roll from side to side. If you find a nice, juicy, sticky spot that you want to take a few more breaths in and work out, then by all means, stay there. And if you're starting to really feel your feet talking to you right now, don't worry, we got this. Take one more breath. Slowly bring your head up. Bring your hands forward. Untuck your toes and give them a little tap. Oh, good job. And let's bring those toes together. Knees come wide. Sit your hips back. And let your arms come forward in child's pose. Your forehead can come to the floor. And just sink down here. All right, melt down into the floor. Return to your breath if you started to lose it. And if an intention arises for you tonight, now's the time to set your intention. And that might simply be to feel good or to be aware of your breath for the next 45 minutes. Or something else. And if you ever need to take a rest, this is a great place to come to. Here's child's pose. So feel free to come here anytime you need it. And when you're ready, let's slowly bring ourselves back up. Spread those fingers wide. Tuck your toes and lift up and back into a downward facing dog. And this time we're going to inhale our right leg high to the sky. Toes pointing down to the floor. Take your inner thigh up to the sky.
Can you stop it?
Hello. Take one more big inhale. See if you can lift your heel a little higher. And here's a little challenge for you. As you exhale, bend your knee. Bring your knee towards your nose. Good. Inhale, kick that leg back again. Exhale, knee to nose. Really round. There we go. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. And inhale, kick back. Good. This time we're going to bend our knee and open up through our hips. All right, so maybe you see your foot underneath your left armpit. Let's try to keep equal weight in both our hands. And then lift your knee a little higher. You're going to take one more big inhale. Exhale here. Relax your other heel down to the ground. Good. Let's inhale, straighten your leg, square your hips. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose one more time. Lift your hips high and see if you can step your foot between your hands. And if it doesn't quite get there, that's okay. Take your hand and help it up. Okay. We're going to come into into sort of a lunge position. So look at your feet. Make sure your back heel is off the ground. Front knee is bent. And then you're on railway tracks. So you're not going to fall off when we stand up. So let's energetically squeeze our legs towards our center line. And then use your core. Inhale, lift all the way up into a high lunge. Exhale, sink into that front knee and relax those shoulders. Good. So we're going to warm our legs up a little bit so we can stretch more deeply into them. You're going to love me for this. Take a big inhale, straighten both legs. And then exhale, bring your arms down and back as you bend both knees into a lunge. Maybe your back knee kisses the ground behind you. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend both knees. Nice, slow, intentional lunge. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, last time, bend your knees. Good. Inhale, open up. This time, cactus your arms and open up through your chest, broaden through your heart. Feeling all the way from your back toes up through that hip flexor, your left hip flexor, and out through your heart is where your energy is flowing. Good. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, right arm comes back. So now you're twisted over that front leg. Okay, use your core to twist. And all we're going to do is take your left arm, the front arm, and cross it over your front thigh. Hands come together in prayer. And we're going to twist. See if you can bring your sternum towards your thumbs. Really engage your back leg if it's up, or if this feels really wobbly, you can lower your back knee to the floor and just focus on the twist. All right, so every inhale, find a little bit more length through the crown of your head. Every exhale, twist a little bit more. Good, see if you can really calm your breath here. And notice how your hands are. So the quality of your hands is how you feel in your body sometimes, right? So when you're stressed out, normally you're like clenching your hands. See if you can relax your hands here. Okay, take one more big inhale. One more exhale, rinse it out. Then inhale, unwind. Plant your hands down to the ground. Engage that back leg and step back into your downward facing dog. Good. Let's flow a little bit more. Inhale, ripple forward into a high plank. And exhale, hold here. Whew. All right, so I'm sure you all look amazing. Make sure your bum is down, nice and flat. Your knees can be on the ground too if this is a bit much. All right? Choose what's right for you. Take one more big inhale. And now on our exhale, we're going to slowly lower down for 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to our belly. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your neck nice and long. And we're going to do 3 baby cobras. So all we're going to do is use your strong back. As you inhale, lift your chest off the ground. And then exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift up. This is going to be a really tiny movement. Exhale down. Good. Inhale, lift up. Maybe this time float your hands off the ground as your chest is off the ground. And then exhale, lower. Good. Let's push back into our child's pose for a few breaths here. Whatever bubbled up, let it go. Come back to your intention if you set one. Come back to your breath. Our breath is super powerful. It's something that we've been doing since we were born. It also has this incredible power to help calm us down if we're feeling stressed out or anxious. We're taking nice deep breaths. Good. When you're ready, we're going to spread our fingers wide, tuck our toes, and lift up into our down dog. And this time, we're going to inhale our left leg high to the sky. See if you can keep your hips square so that those left toes are pointing down to the ground. Nice. And take a big inhale, lift your leg a little higher. Exhale, bend your knee, and see if you can bring your knee towards your nose, so your shoulders shift over your wrists. Inhale, kick that leg back behind you. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Good. Inhale, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. Inhale, kick it back. And this time, bend your knee and open up through your hips. Maybe even that foot underneath your armpit. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide so you're not dumping weight into your wrists. Relax those shoulders so you have a nice long neck. And see if you can bring your knee a little bit higher. Good. Next inhale, straighten through your leg, square your hips, and then exhale, bring your knee to your nose, lift your hips really high, and see if you can step that foot between your hands. And if it didn't quite get there, that's okay. You can help it along. And look at your feet. We're in our low lunge here. So our back heel is off the ground, front knee is bent, and your knee should be over your ankle. All right, let's energetically squeeze towards our center line. And inhale, rise all the way up into a high lunge. Exhale, relax those shoulders down. Good, and I'm sure your favorite part, 3 lunges. Take a big inhale, lift up. Lengthen through that front leg. And exhale, hands come down and back as we bend both knees. Kiss the floor with your back knee. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice one. Big inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, bring your left hand down and back and twist over towards the left. So that front leg. Good. Your right arm, the front one, is going to come and cross on that thigh. Bring your hands together to touch. And then energize that back leg. Or if you did so on the other side, you can lower your back knee to the ground and focus on the twist. All right, every inhale, the crown of your head reaches a little higher or longer. Every exhale, see if you can twist and bring your sternum towards your heart. Sorry, your heart towards your thumbs. There we go. All right, nice deep breaths. Rinse out the week. Rinse out the day. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale, twist. And on your next inhale, let's unwind. Plant your hands. Engage your back leg and step forward so your feet come to touch at the top of your mat. Good. Let's bring our hands to our shins and do a halfway lift. So nice long back. Then exhale, maybe bend your knees and fold down. And let's root our feet and inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Reach up and exhale, let those hands come down to your heart center and to your sides. And we've got some balance to do. All right, so if you already feel a little wobbly standing here, maybe having a wall or a chair will be helpful for you nearby. All right, so all we're going to do, actually I'm going to move a little bit more centered here so I don't hit my lamps on either side of me. So we are going to bring our right leg behind us. Okay, so you're starting to shift your weight into your left foot. So let your toes spread nice and wide. And then start to hinge forward as you kick your right leg behind you. The warrior 3. All right, so your hands can be at your heart. You can have them out like airplane wings, or if you want an extra challenge, you're reaching them forward.
The screen is almost on.
Keeping those toes pointing down towards the ground. See if you can bring your back heel a little bit higher. You've got this. Nice deep breaths. Good. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, here's the tricky part. Start to bring your knee up in front of you without letting your knee, or sorry, your foot touch the ground. Good. Hold it up. That's it. And we're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. See if you can straighten your leg. How high can you bring your toes? Can you lift a little higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Find your balance. And now we're going to cross our ankle over our knee. Wow, my balance is, I'm looking over at you all the time. It's hard. And we're going to see if we can sit back into a bit of a figure 4, standing here. There we go. I'll focus on my balance too. Really important. I don't know if you can see me very well, but you want your ankle crossed over your thigh and your foot is flexed. So your toes are not pointed, they are flexed. That's what's going to protect your knee. Okay? See if you can reach those arms forward and your hips back. And your left hip's probably screaming at you by now. You got this. Good. Take one more breath here. What can you relax? And then inhale, slowly unravel and shake up those hips. Whew. Well done. Right. Before you have any chance to think about it, no expectations. Bring your left leg behind you. Spread your right toes in preparation for some balance. And we're going to start to hinge forward. Lift your left leg up behind you into your warrior 3. So you want your toes going down on the ground. Your hands can be by your heart, out like airplane wings. Or level 3, most challenging, arms out in front. Really kicking your leg back and reaching your arms forward. Nice long neck. Bring the back of your neck up to the sky. You got this. You have a nice focal point. So if you're looking at a spot on the floor, slightly in front of you, that's not moving. One more big inhale, lift a little higher. And then exhale, let's slowly bring our knee up in front. Woo, who got it? Good job. Bring your arms up to the sky. Let's see if we can straighten your leg. How high can you get your leg? Can you get it a little higher? Let's try to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, bend your knee. Cross it over your other knee, your ankle. And start to sit back in your standing figure 4. Arms reach forward for balance. And make sure this ankle is flexed, toes towards your shin. Starting to feel that stretch in your left glutes. Definitely getting a little fiery tonight. Getting our bodies nice and warm so we can get a little bit deeper into our shapes. Take one more breath here. What can you relax? And then inhale. Lift yourself up, unwind, and shake it out. And you're going to step one leg to the back side of your mat or your space. So a nice wide leg shape here. Really wide. I like to have my toes straight or slightly in, like pigeon pose. Okay. So we're going to do a forward fold. Right. Hands come to hips. Inhale, lift nice and tall. And exhale, lead with your chin. Fold from your hips. Come all the way down. Maybe your forehead comes near the ground. Maybe it's up here. Okay. All that matters is you're feeling a nice stretch in your hamstrings and maybe the insides of your legs. And we're going to start to walk our hands towards our left foot and bend into our left knee. So really feeling that stretch in your right inner leg. And then slowly walk your hands back through center. lengthening your left leg and then bending into your right knee as you walk your hands to the right. So again, now stretching the other leg here. Good. Slowly bring yourself back through center. Take a big inhale and exhale, fold forward one more time. Just hang out here. Let gravity do the work. And when you're ready, bring those hands under your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips. And exhale, bring yourself all the way up to the top. And let's heel toe our feet in to about hip width apart. Maybe a little wider than hips. And toes are out on 45 now. We're going to come down into Malasana, or yogi squat. So level 1, you're just here, hands on knees. Level 2, maybe your elbows find your knees. Level 3, see if you can come all the way down, keeping your heels on the floor if possible, and bring your hands to your heart. Let gravity sink those hips down, and then lift your head up towards the sky. Heart to thumbs. So you're pushing your elbows into your knees and knees into your elbows. When I first tried to do this shape years ago, I couldn't get anywhere close. I think all those years of skating and other sports really got my hips really tight. This is one of those amazing things that you can do to really help relax your hips. Good, take one more breath, and then maybe gracefully find yourself down onto the floor. And we're going to let our knees windshield wiper side to side. Let go of anything that popped up in those hips. Good, I'm just going to turn sideways here. We're going to have our hands behind us, plant your feet, fingers towards your body, and we're going to lift up into a reverse table. All right, so as you inhale, start to push in your feet and lift your hips up nice and high. And you're maybe feeling a stretch come to your shoulders. And stay here, or if it's okay, maybe your head starts to come back and you open up through the front of your neck. Only if it's okay in your body. Good, take one more big inhale, lift the hips a little higher. Then exhale, slowly lower down, cross your feet, then come forward into your downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths here. Believe it or not, this is actually a rest pose in yoga. Maybe it doesn't feel like it right now. On your next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg high towards the sky. Bend your knee and open up through your hips. You can stay here, or if you're feeling rather playful, maybe this right foot comes behind you and finds the floor. And you're now in what's called a wild thing. All right, lift those hips high. Take a big inhale. And we're going to do lion's breath. You're going to stick out your tongue and cross your eyes. Yeah, I got that. You're at home by yourself. You can be as crazy as you want. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, and then stick out your tongue. Good. If you're in a wild thing, drop your hips, flip on over, and everybody straighten that right leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knee, step your foot between your hands. And then lower your back knee to the floor. Let's come on up into a low lunge here, I guess. And let your hips sink down. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm now. And start to get into those hip flexors a little bit more. Let your hips come forward and down. Start to feel a sinking energy, a passive energy. Good, and now bring your hands to the inside of your front leg. You're going to walk your front foot to the edge of your mat, so a little bit wider. Okay, we're going to come into our lizard pose here. So you start to walk your hands. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to bring our left hand to the side and inhale right arm up to the sky. So a nice little twist getting into our hip. Okay, you can take this hand and push your knee out a bit more if that feels good. Or if you really want to get into a nice stretch here for the quads, your back foot can bend, and see if you can reach back and find your foot or your ankle. Whew. All right, so really getting into your hips and your quads and hip flexors here. This is probably my favorite shape. One of my favorites. Nice deep breaths here. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips, especially as athletes and skaters. So you might feel a lot of emotions bubbling up here. That's okay. Just observe and let them pass. What can you relax? What can you let go of? And if you have your ankle, you can release it and start to bring yourself back to center. And this time we're going to walk this front foot across to the other side of the mat and then come down into a pigeon pose. Okay, so there are two ways of doing pigeon. You can see one way, especially if you're quite, maybe I'll go so you can see. If you're quite tight, is to point your toe and have your foot tucked in a little bit. Make sure your back foot is nice and long and that the front of your thigh is trying to point down to the ground. Okay? If you have a little bit more space and your hips are more open, you can flex your ankle and bring your shin parallel to the top of your mat. Okay? And the same thing, try to rotate your hips so that you are facing the floor. Okay? Wherever you are, make sure you're not feeling any pain in your knee. And if it feels okay, you can start to bring yourself down over your leg. And I like to make a pillow for my forehead by making two fists, stacking them on top of each other, and then I can rest my forehead on my fists. We're going to spend about another minute here, so really sink into it. Breathe into any tension and just let it go. And then slowly walking yourself back up. Tuck your back toes and step back into your downward facing dog, shaking out your hip if you need to, let it go. And when you are ready, we're going to inhale our left leg high to the sky. Bend your knee and open up through your hips. You can stay here, or if you did so on the other side, see if you can carefully find your left foot behind you on the floor and lift up into your wild thing. Hips nice and high. We'll do our lion's breath again. So big inhale, and then exhale. Stick out your tongue and cross your eyes. That was awesome. All right. Slowly bring those hips down. Bring yourself back into your three-legged dog. Inhale that leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Lift your hips high and see if you can step your foot between your hands and lower your back knee to the ground. Coming into your kneeling here. And let's let our hips just sink forward and down. Breathing into your hip flexor. These muscles get super tight with all the sitting we do at school, at work, from the computer, all the screens. So let's give them a little love and just find some length in those hip flexors. They're really important posture muscles. When you're ready, we're going to bring your hands to the inside of that front foot and walk your foot as wide as your mat. Bring your right hand just off your mat and inhale, left arm up towards the sky. Take this left hand and maybe help push out your left knee a little bit. Bring it into your hip. And if you did so on the other side, maybe you bend that back knee and grab your foot or your ankle, coming to a nice quad stretch here. What can you release? Notice your jaw. Are you clenching your jaw? You are, relax it. Breathing into any tight spots and just letting them go. I really feel like I could stay here for a lot longer. If you feel like you want to stay somewhere for longer, feel free to. We're ready to move on, so let's release our ankle if we have it. Start to walk your hands back under your shoulders and take this front foot and walk it to the other side of your mat, finding your pigeon. So again, those options are to point your toe and tuck your leg in if you're a little bit tighter like me. This way I find a little bit more space so I can rotate my hips down and get the top of my back thigh down towards the ground. Or flex your foot and bring your shin in line with the mat. Same thing with the hips though. Okay. Find your spot here. And if you feel comfortable, maybe start to walk yourself down, elbows to the floor. Make your fist pillow. And relax your forehead down. Hang out here. Melting down. Give yourself permission to relax. Stay here for as long as you need. Or gently start to walk yourself back up. We're just going to come down onto our hip. Swing your other leg over. Then come into a bit of a seated position here. So we're going to come down onto our backs. Go. And we're going to do one bridge tonight. All right, so you're gonna have your feet tucked in nice and close. And your knees are hip width apart. So you should be able to tickle your heels with your hands. Okay? Keep your shoulders and your neck and the back of your head flat on the ground. And we're gonna robot those arms. You try. You're gonna help demonstrate with me. And as you inhale, okay, here we go. Lift those hips up. And then relax your glutes. If you like, you can bring your hands behind your back. There's a cat there. Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay. And you can bind your hands like we did in the beginning of class behind your back. And see if you can walk your shoulders under you a little bit more. And take one more big inhale. Shine your heart up towards the sky. And then exhale, release that bind if you have it, and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bring your feet nice and wide as your mat, and let your knees drop together. Let's bring one hand to our belly, one hand to our heart, and simply breathe into your hands. Feel them rise and fall with each breath. Invite in peace, invite in love. And then slowly start to walk your feet together and let your knees drop wide. Coming into a supine butterfly. If this is too much on your hips, sometimes it helps to put pillows under your knees and prop them up a little bit. Really melt down. What can you relax here? Feel your low back spreading out on the ground. Relax your shoulders. And we're going to start to prepare for our final rest. So if you're feeling a little chilly, now's a good time to grab socks or a sweater or even a blanket. And let's slowly bring our knees in and then lengthen your legs nice and long. And take your feet up nice and wide as your mat. Let your arms take up space.
What? Give me a minute. Answer.
And relax the space behind your eyes. Relax your jaw. Maybe even let it open slightly. Relax your shoulders. Let them melt down into the floor. Your arms be heavy. Relax your palms. Let your hips sink down. Relax your thighs and your knees, your calves, your feet. Feel supported by the ground beneath you. This is the time when the magic happens after we put in all the work. You have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do except be right here in this space. All these other amazing people. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel free to stay here for as long as your body's calling for. Or you can start to return to your body and wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. And bring your arms overhead for a big full body stretch. And slowly, gently hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug, big squeeze. And gently start to rock side to side, massaging out your low back. And you can rock onto one side and just take a moment here before coming up to a seated position. And I really like having a prop or a pillow under my hips when I'm seated. So it helps relax my hips down. You can have your hands on your thighs, palms down if you want to feel a little bit more grounded. Palms up if you wish to receive a bit more energy. Whatever feels good in the moment. And let's just bask in the afterglow of our practice. Notice how your body feels now compared to how it did at the beginning of class. Maybe you feel a little taller, a little lighter. And then bring your hands to your beautiful heart. And take a moment to think of at least one thing you are truly grateful for right now. I am super grateful for all of you to join me tonight. This has been so awesome. The energy has been unreal, knowing that you're all there sharing this with me. And I hope that whatever you cultivated tonight, you will carry into the rest of your day and the rest of your week. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. And if you're doing the physical activity challenge, get those shots in. Off ice shooting skills this week, right? And hopefully everything else, you stay active and stay healthy. Mm-hmm. And a pleasure. I'll just turn off